Hey, welcome to PandaVille. My name is Amanda, also known as Panda, and this is my sanctuary. I want to say welcome to all the new viewers, as well as welcome to the viewers that are returning. Thank you for spending some time with me. I know that everyone is getting all wrapped up into the holiday season, and you know, you guys are doing your shopping, you guys are doing whatever it is that you do to celebrate the holidays. Today, however, I spent it home. Just home. I didn't decorate. I didn't want to decorate. I did clean, so my house is clean. But tomorrow maybe I'll decorate for Christmas. It is Saturday, November 28th. Yes, Saturday, November 28th. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving and that you guys are looking forward to Christmas. So usually around the holidays, I become the Grinch before I become very excited into the holidays. I don't know why. It's just my mechanism. Like, oh my God, I gotta spend all this money, and you know, I think that's where the Grinch part of me comes out. Like I just, you know, just for one day, you know, it's just like you spend so much money for this one day when, you know, it's really supposed to be about something completely different. It just turned into this whole like gift thing. Don't get me wrong, I love gifts, but I don't know, there's a lot of different things about it. But I love the holidays because it brings out so much joy in people. It brings out so much caring and loving. When the snow falls down, you know, the winter's cold. Winter is like all dark so early, but at the same time, it has its joys to it. It has its moments, and so I have to keep on reminding myself of those moments when I start to think about, now I have to do a ton of Christmas shopping. If I haven't gotten for people, I need to do it now before Christmas Eve, because I don't want to spend that night, Christmas Eve, shopping or, you know, wrapping gifts. So I think that's what makes me the Grinch, is knowing that I always, the day before Christmas, am like just like trying to get things together, putting it together, wrapping it up, and trust me, you can ask Brian, I do not wrap gifts. You will have more tape than paper on your gift if I was to wrap it. So the gift wrapping goes to Brian because he used to work in Hallmark, so he knows how to make gifts all lovely and beautiful. If it was up to me, I'd just give you what it was or what it is in either a bag or just hand it to you here, because it is the thought that counts, and people forget that all the time. Oh, let me bring it back. And let's talk about something that's joyous. And I know that was kind of like grumpy of me. I was just thinking about the pros and cons of the holiday season, you know, and so I'm jumping around all over the place because that's where my mind has been today. My mind has wandered far to the beach and then wandered all the way to the North Pole today. So I'm going to try and keep it together and talk about what I've done. So on to my It Ain't Done Yet. This pattern, this It Ain't Done Yet, is a pattern from Susan Claudino. And I had gotten this kit. I purchased this kit in the summer, but I received it in the beginning of September. And I didn't work on it until about 2 weeks ago when True from the Artsy Knitter and I did a Skyping, you know, day, and we decided that we were going to work on this pattern together, and so I am losing my train of thought. Please forgive me. Okay, I got it. I'm back. Panda is back. So there was a couple of things. I wanted to do this pattern for a gift, and I think that I'm still going to give it as a gift, but I was holding off on it. Like, I don't know why. I was so excited that I got you know, the kit, and it came with a ton of things, and so thank you for putting it together. The little bird, the little skein in the big wool. The little skein in the big wool. I am all over the place. I'm sorry. This kit came from the little skein in the big wool. The pattern came from Sylvia, Susan Claudino. Apologize again. Oh my God. It's Saturday and I haven't even been drinking. Okay, so just so that you know where my mind is at today. So when I got this pattern, I was so excited. I had a ton of ideas for this pattern. I had a ton of things that I had wanted to do, and I did nothing, because a lot of the times what happens with Panda is that I have all of these great ideas, all of them all scrunched up in my head, and nothing gets done because I just feel overwhelmed before I start. So about 2 weeks ago, True and I were on a Skype, you know, one of our Skype sessions, and we decided that we were going to cast on together. Okay? I am a slow knitter, because me and True, we cast it on together. Like, you know, ready, set, cast off. Okay? And we're talking and knitting and talking and knitting and talking and knitting, and we hang up from Skype. And I wasn't able, after that, I had to put it down because I was doing, you know, I had to go to work. I had long days, long hours. So when I would come home, I was exhausted. Like, I couldn't look at knitting. I was just too tired. I don't travel with my knitting because I usually don't get seats on the subway or on the bus. So for me to travel with my knitting, nothing gets done. Anyway, so that's how I know. So, oh my God, I'm all over the place. But what happened is that this is as much as I got done. Isn't he the cutest? I think I'm still gonna get, you know, still gonna give him as a gift. But look at how cute he is. And I'm gonna buy the book so that I can give it with the gift, right? Because it's from the Wild Things. The pattern is called The Wild Thing. Right, look at how pretty. I didn't finish. I still have to do the mouth. I still have to sew up the little booty, and I have to sew the top. But the reason why I've not, look, I don't have that much to do, but the reason why I stopped was because in the kit, it comes with the safety eyes. It comes with the, you know, the embroidery stitch that you need for the mouth. It comes with the buttons, because back here is going to be buttons, and then there's going to be 2 buttons right here in the front. And then that's it. And then I'm done. Then I'm done. Then I'm done. Right? But what happened was, because I've, you know, taken this out, this project out, showed it to people and said, oh, look what I'm going to be starting, da-da-da-da. I lost the backing of my googly eye. Safety eye is called, but I call it googly eye. I lost the backing. So because this is going to be for a young child, I definitely need the backing, and I don't know where I'm going to get the backing. So today I actually ordered a set of safety eyes because I want this. I had such a wonderful time knitting this. The only thing that I was kind of like thrown off about was a 3-needle decrease, because I've never done it before. But other than that, like, once I learned how, you know, once I did the 3-needle decrease 2 times, it was just like, oh, okay, I got it. And so it's just a matter of sitting your ass down and knitting it, right? So so that's the only thing. I just need the backing. So what I was thinking about doing was, when the safety eyes come in, I'm going to remove this one, because this one has the backing, but this one doesn't. But I'm going to remove these and put them in here. And then I'm going to just place new ones on, and then I'm just going to sew it up and get it done. Right? Because I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You don't understand. Ever since I started podcasting, I feel like I get a whole lot more projects done. Whereas before I started podcasting, I would just cast on because I was so excited to cast on. I was more a knitter that just loved the process and not the end result. But when I started to like get involved with podcasting, getting involved with Ravelry, and just seeing all of these beautiful, beautiful end results to the knitting process, I really wanted to see how well I can do. I always put myself down when it comes to making things. I don't feel like I'm adequate enough to do things, but then I look at things like this and I'm just like, damn, I'm really good. All I gotta do is follow a pattern. I'm really good. I can't wait. So now I'm like excited because I want to finish this up so I can give it as a gift and know that the person that's getting this will be, you know, they will really like it, you know. And I really liked making it, and so I'm going to be making a ton more because it was just really fun for me. And I don't know, I get excited. I'm so excited about this little guy here. And I'm going to be naming them, not from the book. I want to make my own names for these little guys here. But anyway, so that's one. It ain't done yet, and I can't wait to finish it. I'm hoping to get the eyes by this week. There's no holiday this week, so I hope it comes. You know, I'm doing standard shipping because obviously I don't want to spend crazy amount of money on 2-day shipping. But I'm getting the kit, and I just can't wait because I want to finish it. I'm so excited to finish it. So excited. Okay, so that's him. I'm almost done. I can't wait. I'm almost done. And then my other, I'm sorry. My other it ain't done yet. I actually started the day before yesterday to give myself a break from knitting gifts. Okay. I'm sorry I have to go offline, but I'm making the 10 stitch blanket. I'm making the 10 stitch blanket. I don't know if you can see it. Beautiful, right? I like this color. It is Karen or Caron. I don't know how people say it. I say it's Karen. It's Karen yarn. It's the 1 pound thing. See? Karen yarn. And I started this honestly because I need to get rid of this. I have another one in blue, but I'm not going to use the blue one. The blue one I'm going to use for something else. But I need to get rid of my acrylic yarns because I find myself buying a whole lot more fiber and plant-based yarns, and I find myself just loving them so much that I want to get more of. But I know that I have a ton of yarn here that I can make a whole bunch of stuff with. The problem with me is that I don't really know if I want to make hats or make scarves or make this or that with acrylic yarn, because my eyes have been open to the wonderful fiber blends. So I figured that I can use up my yarns and make baby blankets or lap gowns or, you know, things like that for charity, because everyone needs something, right? So I figured I can use those up quickly in that sense. So I'm making, so I just started the day before yesterday, and I'm using this pattern is by Frankie. I can't remember her last name, but she's on Ravelry. And what I did was Staci Perry from Very Pink Knits YouTube has a tutorial on this. And so what she did was she substituted this part right here so that it sticks out a little bit. And that's what I'm using. Other than that, the pattern is a free download. I love it. It's fast. Frankie, you're awesome. You have tons of patterns that just use 10 stitch. I'm going to be, once I do this mitered, I'm going to start the mitered corner in a different color. And here's the color that I'm going to use. I don't remember. I think this is Red Heart yarn. But I'm going to use this because I don't know what, oh my god, it fell. I'm going to use that color because I don't know what other color to use. I mean, I can sorry. I can make it an entire one color, but I think that it would break up, and I think it would look really nice I think it would look really nice if I was to use this color to break up I don't know, I've been so into just, you know, adding 2 colors or 3 colors or what have you in my knitting, that I don't know if I really want to see. It's too plain for me. But anyway, so I started this. This is my other It Ain't Done Yet. I haven't started another project for, actually I haven't started another project for my knitting, but I am swatching for it. So this is my 10 stitch. I'm jumping all over the place. I'm sorry. If I was to just breathe and just get it together, then I would be able to, you know, get it together. Anyway, so this is my 10 stitch blanket. I'm not done with it yet. This will be an ongoing, because I don't know how big I want to make it, but I will definitely keep you guys in the loop. And what I find is that this, you know, this podcast that I'm doing, this video blog, because this is exactly what it is a video blog, has helped me to realize what I really want to focus on, and has helped me to stick with it and be an end result type of knitter. So this is my swatch. I'm swatching for my next Christmas gift. Here is. So this is a work in progress. I actually have to try to use another type of needles, but this is my work in progress. My swatch. Swatching. Boo. Anyway, what this swatch is for the Hermonie, Hermonie Everyday Socks. It's cuffed down. It's actually my first sock pattern that I'm really gonna try to follow, you know, through, and not try and like make it my own. So I will be swatching this. I don't even know, I can't stand needles that don't have the mark of what size this is. I know this is from Lace Addy. I think it's a US 2. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think that it's a US 2. And I just want to say that my needles stink. Like, I don't like the way this finish smells. It rubs up on my hands, and I have to constantly use Purell because I don't like the way it's like a metal. You know when you hold change in your hand and you have that after smell of the change on your hand? Like, that's what it smells like, and I can't stand this smell. It makes me gag. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm happy that I've been swatching, and I've been going along trying to do the 4 inches and seeing how many I get within the 4 inches, and I'm not meeting my gauge swatch, and I'm actually kind of happy about it because I really don't want to use these needles because they smell. They make my hands stink. I don't like it. I have a real soft, you know, strong nose, so any small little odor I can pick up real fast. And so although somebody may not smell, you know, my hands, of course nobody's gonna be like, oh, let me smell your hands, but I smell them from down here and it bothers me. Anyway, so I'm happy that I didn't make gauge with these needles because I really don't want to use them, but I've had these needles for like 3 months, and so I can't turn them back because I don't even know what I did with the package for it. But I did get, and I'm a big Addy fan, by the way. So most of my needles, my circular needles are Addies. So I, you know, on different blogs and on different websites, people talk about the different types of needles and brands, and I've not really ventured out that way, so I can't say what's what and why I like this one and why I don't like this one. So what I did was I brought Haya because I've heard a lot about Haya, and this is a US 0, and I'm gonna try and swatch with these for the Hermonie Everyday Socks. And I'm using, by the way, I'm using Madeline Tosh. I don't know where the tag is, but this is I believe this is fingering weight yarn, 400 yards. So I'm going to be using this. It should be enough for my socks, enough for the socks. So I'm going to be trying to knit or seeing how it feels, how I feel with this. I'm actually happy that these higher have the you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm actually happy that they have the size, because I get confused really, really fast. And I use this, but you know, sometimes, you know, when I stick it in this thing here, it either goes all the way in or it doesn't really go all the way in. So like for instance, when I use these needles, these are a size 9 Crystal Palace, right? My size 9, US 9, it goes in halfway. Now these are a size 0 in US, and look, it goes all the way in. So sometimes that confuses me, because I'm like, is this really the size? Should it go all the way in, or should it just barely go in like this? You know, and I know that different people, you know, how about you just tell me, because I don't effing know. So I'm going to be using these and seeing to see whether or not I really like this. One of the reasons why I actually purchased the higher-highs, is because it has a panda. I show you. You see it? It's the panda. That's why I really bought them, because it has a panda. I'm a weirdo. Don't, you know, just let me live. Let me live. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my gauge swatch, and I'm going to be adding on to that. I don't even know if I'm going to need another, I don't think I'm going to need another skein of yarn for the socks, because I should hit it with this. So that was my, so that's my, and just so that you get an idea, I'm sorry. Just so that you get an idea for what the socks actually look like. These are a free pattern. A lot of people have been doing them, so here are the socks. And it's by Erica Lueder. Erica Lueder. So I'm going to try these, and hopefully they'll come out great. But because they're going to be a gift for someone, I'm not too sure. I hope it fits them. That's just the bottom line. So I have that I'm going to be working on, and I'm swatching for that. My idea for this upcoming week is to swatch for the rest of the projects that I wanted to try to complete before Christmas. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's one Christmas gift that oh, and by the way, I have a binder. So you see, once I'm done with the project, I actually put it back in the binder, because I have the project page. But my next, so in the line of swatching, I haven't swatched yet, but this is it's going to be my other Christmas gift is Almeda Fingerless Gloves by Rachel Abrams. So I haven't, here they are, they're pretty. This is also another free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away. I haven't tried to swatch for this yet, but I have tons of yarn that I can swatch for it. And then my next, I can't wait to make this. This is also by Susan Claudino. I think she's awesome. Look at it. Voodoo, you love me. I cannot wait. I cannot give you a lot of information in regards to this, because this is a pattern that I did pay for, but I can't wait to kind of like I can't wait to why am I getting tongue twisted today? Why? I can't wait to know, you know, how this is. How do I, whether or not I like the pattern, whether or not making it was a easy thing for me or what have you. So I can't wait to really like give you an insight on what I think about this pattern. But I think that they're so cute, and I can't wait. Look at them. They're so pretty. Okay, so that is, So those are the things that these are going to be the things that I'm swatching for. I have another sock pattern. I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm going to be swatching for that also. Another thing that I'm going to be swatching for. These are all I'm going to be. They're my dreams. They're my dreams. And let's see if they become reality. I'm hoping so. Another pattern that I'm looking to do, and this is not going to be for Christmas, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share about it, and I'm definitely going to be taking tons of notes on whether or not how is it going. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because all y'all know that I love Nelkin patterns. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. I love them. They're lace. They're just gorgeous. And so I've been doing a lot of her craftsy classes, and this is a part of her craftsy class. And I don't know if this is a shawl from the lace inside out. So it teaches you a whole bunch of different types of skills. And it's called Life Cycle. One of the things about this type of shawl is that she gave it to you so that it could either be like a baby blanket or a shawl for someone. My idea, I have, again, I'm definitely going to do this. I'm definitely going to do this. I have to talk to Brian so that he could buy me the yarn, the amount that I need for it. But I'm definitely going to do this. Anyway, my idea for this is to make it the baby blanket. And, you know, again, this is a paid thing, so I can't really talk all in depth. But in her class, check it out on Craftsies. I love Craftsies. I even, you know, downloaded the app on my phone, so now everywhere I go I'm looking at her class just to see what the hell am I missing, that I'm always dropping stitches, or that it's not going through with the pattern. Anyway, that is for another conversation. But I love the way that this looks, and I'm hoping I have 2 incoming family members in February, and I want to make each one of them this Life Cycles blanket. I cannot promise, and I have not told, you know, the mothers to be that I'm making this pattern because I don't want them that I'm making this blanket because I don't want them to be looking for this blanket come the day of the baby's birth, because Christmas is still, you know, a pressing matter. Although I'm not as stressed as I was when I thought about it, I still want to give people Christmas gifts. So I will be making this, but I'm not gonna tell them. I just want them to be surprised. And hopefully, and tell them that this can be an heirloom so that they can pass down to whoever it is that they want to pass down to. So that is my must. I'm definitely gonna do that. Okay, so for it's a done deal. I have 2 projects that I've completed. All I need to do is weave it in. Both projects I have a lot of like I wish I could have or I should have known. So that's what I'm gonna spend talking about when I talk to you about these patterns. This pattern, I love it. All I have to do again is weave it in, but it is a done deal because I'm not adding to it, I'm not anything to it. So all I gotta do is weave it in. But I love this pattern. I just put it together. I know that cows are like 1, 2, 3. So this is 200 yards. 200 yards. Blech. This is 200 stitches, and I wish that I would have made it. You see how wide this is? I wish that I would have made it wider, and I'll explain why. I love, and this isn't for me, but I love the fact that you can wrap twice, but I would have liked it, you know, a bit bulkier. This is acrylic, so that the person that's using this can definitely throw it in the wash and not have to worry about shrinkage or whatever the case may be. This is 100% acrylic. And what I did was I cast it on 200 stitches, and I purled about 3 to 4 rows to begin with, and then I knitted 3 to 4 rows and purled and knitted and purled. And what I wish I would have done for this is, you see, this is more the black is in purl, the red is in knits. But what I wish I would have done was purled up until this point. So this is point, you know, start here and then purl all the way down, and then from here start you know, the changing the color again. That way I would have had it more a bit wider, but I like it nonetheless. I think that it will keep whoever it is that's going to get this very warm. One of the things that I really liked about this is the end, which I had no idea, is it doesn't look like it has any red, and then when you look on the inside, it looks like it's nothing but red. I like that. I think that's so cool, and it was not intentional at all. I'm still learning, you know, so I'm learning how the effects of the way different types of knitting and so on and so forth are running. So look, so I'm so excited. I like it, and I hope that the person that gets this likes it too. The next one is my Of the Moon shawl. I love the way that it came out. I'm just very sad because again, like I said, I'm still learning. I have to weave in the you know, I have to weave it in and then block it, and I'm hoping that when I block it, it'll be a little bit longer. I used the what yarn did I use? I used the Heritage yarn, sock yarn from Cascade Yarns, and I love the way that it feels. Again, I have to weave it in and block it, but I honestly believe that this was going to be a bit bigger. So I'm so happy that I have, you know, nieces and cousins that are that this will fit. Because if I didn't, I'd be very, very upset. Look how small this is. And I, you know, in the pictures, and I'm sorry I didn't pull up the picture, but in the pictures, it's a bit bigger. And I even worked on more stock net than the pattern called for. And I even added more of this pattern here. I even added like 4 or 5 repeats of this pattern here, as well as this one, as well as the bottom pattern, and it's still small. But on my needles, and I don't know why, I think this is something that I'm going to be learning with time, and maybe you guys can help me and try and figure out how, before I'm done and before I bind off, how do I realize, or how can I notice whether or not this is actually wide enough for an adult, small, you know, what, or tall enough for an adult, because in my, you know, on the needles it was scrunched up, so I'm assuming that it is the width that I wanted it, and when I bound off, this is how it is. I mean, you can use it as a scarf. I think this is pretty, and I don't know if the pattern had wanted it to be a scarf, you know, for an adult. Maybe, hey, you never know. But, and I think it's still pretty. This is the first time that I try it like this, but I guess you could use it as a scarf, because the picture is on Ravelry, Of the Moon by Ffrench. You see her wearing it like this, so perhaps that's why that's probably why it was the way it was. I don't know, but for me, I was hoping for it to be a bit bigger, and I assumed that it was me. But I still think that it's pretty. The colors are pretty. I really like it. Initially, I didn't like the two-toned. I felt like maybe it could have just been one, and maybe the two-tone was getting in the way of the of the pattern, but I do. I find that I like the way that it came out now. So this is my, it's a done deal. Again, all I have to do is weave it in and block it, and then, you know, wrap it up for a gift. So this is my actual, actually it's my third Christmas gift that I've knitted. The first one was a pair of socks that I knitted. So I'm getting there. I'm getting on my list. I'm getting to my list, and I'm not stressing about it. I thought I was going to be like, stressing, but I didn't. So it's a done deal. And I have to say that I'm very proud that I have 3 projects done. Because again, I was a knitter that just wanted to do the process. I really didn't want to finish anything. So I had a whole bunch of whips. But now I want to see the end result, so I'm sticking to it. But I have a problem because I don't like to just be knitting on one project the entire time. So my, you know, it shifts. Like, I don't know, but it shifts. So I'm working on, and I'm still working on just doing what it is that I need to do, and just making sure that that it gets done in time to the best of my abilities. I forgot to show you one of my other Christmas projects that I'm knitting. It ain't done yet, and I forgot to put it in that segment, but this is a poncho. I don't know what just fell. This is another needle. I don't know why this needle is in there. Anyway, this is a poncho. The pattern is by Staci Perry from verypink.com. You can also find her on Ravelry. It's the name of the pattern is Rodeo Drive. It's actually on my Kindle, so I don't have a hard copy for you to show you. But if you go on to Ravelry, you can definitely find it as Rodeo Drive. And it's a very simple pattern. It's not that much. You have the increases as well as a cable down the middle, which I kind of like because it's my first poncho knitting ever. And it's all, actually her pattern is all one color. Again, like I told you, I've been in this like two-tone type of color thing. So I'm trying it with the two-tone. Again, I've had to pull this out a couple of times, and because I've pulled it out and not really kept a roll or lifeline, the cables are not as far apart as it started out to be, and I'm very upset about that. So I'm contemplating whether or not I need to pull this out again to, I think you could tell, to work it so that the cables are apart. You know, the amount of stitches, rows that they need to be apart. So the yarn that I'm using, because the person that I'm knitting this for is allergic to wool, I'm using cotton, and it is from Blue Sky. It's worsted cotton. This is color is 643. 643 is the color. And then the pink right here, I really like this pink, is 617. So I will be knitting this definitely for a very long time. Although it's pretty simple, you just got to keep in mind the increases, where the increases. I did have stitch markers all along as I started, but when I kept on pulling out, the stitch markers was getting in my way, so I just took them out. So I have to keep in mind where the stitch markers are actually, you know, where is it that I need to increase, because it does get wider as I continue to go. So that is what I'm working on, and that is how I've been spending my days outside of work. And I hope that the next time I come on here that I have a ton more to show you. I do have a ton of ideas. I wanted to say that I got some enhancements. It's not really like, I really got one enhancement. I got a Swifter. Hold on. I got a Swifter because I had gotten, see that, yay, my first Swifter. I had gotten this Swifter because I had purchased yarn from O-Loops, right? I'll show you my yarn. I had purchased my yarn from O-Loops. They're wonderful ladies. And what happened was when they come in skeins, beautiful skeins. And what happened was that I was having issues with unraveling. It was getting, tangled. It was getting, it was just hard. I had like a whole bunch of yarn vomit. It was all knotted up, although it came all beautiful when I unraveled it and put it on the chair so that I can just, roll up a ball from the chair. It still got knotted up and I was getting very frustrated. I did this by hand and hubby helped me. And it took me because I couldn't spend the entire time cleaning it up or whatever. So this took me about a couple of days to unravel and to get the knots out. And the same thing with the other yarn that I have. Hold on. Same thing with this yarn. This is the Molly Weasley colorway. I love it. I love it. I hope that I have enough because I think I'm gonna make some fingerless gloves with this color also. But so the same thing happened with this, where I had to, I knotted it, and it became a long, beautiful skein of yarn. And so what I had to do was do it by hand, and because I had to do it by hand, it was just driving me nuts because it was all knotted. It wasn't staying the way it should have, and it just took me forever and a day to ravel it, to get it into a cake. So I was telling hubby that it was really pissing me off. Oh, the one that I had shown you before, just so that you know. And I actually am going to see if they can make, I want to order another skein of this because hubby really likes this color. This is called, this colorway is the Leaky Cauldron. I have to email them to see whether or not they will make me another skein. But he loves this. He thinks that this is a hot colorway. So I want to make him something for Christmas with this. So I have the Leaky Cauldron. I love, and this is for their Harry Potter knit along. So I have the Leaky Cauldron. I really love this color. Really love it. But it was driving me nuts because it took me forever to wind into a cake. Same thing with the Molly Weasley colorway, and this is all sports weight. About 400 yards. This is more like 2 and change now because I made socks, a pair of socks. But so this took me forever. Then because I was so fed up with trying to get with that, and I had 2 other skeins. Honeyduke, same sports weight. Honeyduke is the colorway. Beautiful. Check that out. Look at all of that. I love this. Love this. I did not roll this up until the day before yesterday because I didn't want to spend all my time taking out knots. So I had ordered my Swift probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and it came ahead of schedule. I actually was expecting this in another 2 weeks because it was coming from China, which I had no idea, by the way, that it was coming from China. But it came faster than I expected, so I was able to roll this up faster. And I have 2 skeins of this Honeydukes, which is also, by the way, going to be, I'm hoping to make it a Christmas gift for someone. I'm just not too sure who, and exactly what to make with this, because these are beautiful. So I don't know if I want to make socks with this, or if I want to make like a nice, just regular shawl or cowl. This is sports weight, so I'm not too sure exactly what it is that I want to make with this. I'm not 100% sure. So maybe if you give me some ideas, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your ideas. But this is what I've been talking about, that I've been wanting and just loving everybody's yarn on Etsy. So I've been stacking up on my on my beautiful fiber yarns that I I had to get the Swift because it's coming in skeins. They come in skeins and they don't come like the regular, you know, like the store-bought, Michael's store-bought, not local yarn store-bought yarn. Okay, so I have some more ideas for Christmas gifts for these, but not entirely 100%. So if you guys can definitely, if you have any ideas, hit me up, let me know. Check me out on Ravelry, put some ideas out there on Ravelry. And now the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is my spinning. I haven't really been talking to you guys about spinning because I haven't really had any time to spin. But I was cleaning the other day. Hold on. I just need to. Here we go. I was cleaning the other day and I realized that I've come a long way in such a short time with spinning. This was my first spinning experience ever. This came with Mr. Blue. Okay, this came with Mr. Blue. And it looks like dreadlock. It looks like my hair, actually. But this came with Mr. Blue, and this was my first ever experience spinning. I don't know how I did that. Right? And then this was my second experience spinning. Still looks like dreadlocks, but getting a little bit better. Right? And I didn't ply these. These are not plied, as you could tell. Look how crazy this looks. And don't kill me for all you professional spinners out there, or you spindle, drop spindle, and spinning wheel spinners. Don't kill me. Okay? I like the way it feels, though. But this was my second try in spinning. This is all from Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue has nothing on him now. But yeah, so this was my first spindle, and I like it because it was my first spindle. But then so this was before I read the book. Someone on Ravelry had, I was asking about spinning, and they emailed me and they told me about this book, Respect This Spindle by Abby Farragut. And I started to read it, and it was a very interesting read. It was so thorough and so embedded with so much history and just down to the science. And when I mean down to the science, I mean down to the science and math. Like, she told you how many spins per minute and all of this other stuff. Some of it was like above my head, way over my head, but it gave me a better understanding, a more in-depth understanding about the concept of spinning. So with that, I started to get better. And again, and she did mention in the book, it's a muscle, muscle memory, that it allows you to spin finer and finer once your muscles get accustomed to what you're doing. So I started to see that once I started to read the book. As I continued to practice, I was getting better at it. Then this is my practice. But what I realized, and I'm still working on, is that I spin too much, and I don't allow the twist to travel up as much as I needed to. So it's a lot, it's tight, but I'm getting better in regards to, the consistency. So I'm very happy with how I'm doing. None of these are plied. None of these I've not washed these, to be honest with you. I just spun them into cake balls because they're just practice. See, this is me starting. And this is, I believe, Rodeo. I got this from one of the local stores. See, I'm getting better. I still have a lot of tight. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. You see how that crunches up? That's because there's a lot of energy build up here, and I've not been able to allow it to twist here all the way. So this is continuously happening. See that? That's what you want. That's what I learned. That this right here, that twist up on itself, is what you want. But you don't want it so much that it kinks up like this part right here. So I'm still learning that. But I'm really enjoying the process of doing that. I purchased a bottom whirl. And this is Sheepy. And I named him Sheepy because of the sheeps. But look how well I'm doing. I'm still with the whole tightness and stuff. But look at that. I'm doing very well. I'm doing very, very well. I'm very proud of my progression with the spinning. And soon I will be ready for a spinning wheel, and I can't wait because I already put the bug in hubby's ear, and I'm hoping that he really takes me serious in getting one or making me one, whichever one is cheaper. But what I find myself to know about myself is whatever is easy, I tend to make extremely hard. And whatever is hard, I tend to make extremely easy. Don't ask me, I'm opposite. Ever since I learned that I was lefty, I've been an opposite person. So that's why, you know, when I was growing up, my mom always said, actually it was a teacher that taught me this, not my mom, I apologize, but she enforced it, my mom enforced it. She always said, what's easy to one person is not always easy to another. So that's why I try to, you know, when I talk about things that are fairly simple, I always direct it to me. I say, for me, it was fairly simple. I try not to use the word easy because I try to keep that in the back of my head. What's easy for one person it may not be easy for another. So for me, spinning on the drop spindle has been interesting. I wouldn't say simple. I would just say interesting. It's really been interesting. I really love the process in its entirety. I really, really love it. I love doing that. I love watching it spin. I love being able to control the spin, you know, as the spin, and seeing the spin go into the fiber and making, I love it. I just love the whole process. Like I get joy of seeing it. I really do. So anyway, now that I spoke to you for about 45 minutes, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm hoping that I can have a lot more on my needles to show you for the next, for my next episode. As always, live life and love it to the fullest. Panda out.